did you get to like Act 3 yet, or... I'm gonna call them acts because that's just what makes sense to me. And I'm sure everyone will, like, understand what I mean when I say acts. You killed the level 9 thugs in the first section so you had some gear and didn't have any issues with the Dryad thing. There's a level 20 bear with like 280 HP. You killed at level 5 guard. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, whenever I died to that Dryad, I was like level 0 scout, and I got it down to like 20% health left or something. So with the upgrades I've gotten along the way, I probably could kill it now. But that doesn't change my thinking that, like, when it tells you along... That'd be like if woodcutting in RuneScape was like, well, you're now the level to chop oak logs, but instead, why don't you just go chop these normal logs till you're ready for willows? I don't know. Just seems... I don't know, just seems odd. I wasn't too big of a fan of that. I got very frustrated spending an hour running around and not finding it. At least an hour running around. Like, and I'm not kidding. I could pull up the game and show you like how I feel like I unveiled almost everywhere. I must have missed like the one zone that had bears in it or something. Because I feel like I unveiled like everything except where you couldn't get past without woodcutting levels. I think we should open up our own shop though. You like to cook, I like to fish. We can open our own like fish and chip shop. We could own the entire Brighter Shores economy. Yeah, can't trade yet. I wonder what makes implementing trade like difficult. Is it because like the safety measures that need to come along with it? Because I'm thinking of just like, you know, I want to give you these things, here you go, or whatever. You uncovered about 95% of the map before you found the portal stone. Yeah, I did find that in my hunts. I found the portal stone. That's another problem I had is like it talks about how it wants you to go back and forth between the episodes because they work together, and if you die then you have to like teleport back to episode 2, and it's just so slow. I don't know, the lack of any sort of like, all there are those 2 waypoints just kind of sucks. There was a lot of running in circles. Bruce, how goes the magic grind? What level are you? How close are you to being done? What's your time frame? Give me all of the deets. Great question. Thank you. That's why I don't get paid. Because I come up with the great questions. I'm one of those people that like at work all the time when someone does good, I'm like, that's why you get paid the big bucks. And I tried to say that just now and realized it didn't make much sense. Realistically, magic will be done in a month. That's not bad at all. Depends how much focused grinding you do and how your hand/wrist holds. I mean, a month is not bad at all. So last night was supposed to be a drinking stream, but then my computer froze and I spent the entire most of the rest of the evening and night trying to troubleshoot to figure out what was going on. I don't feel like I've gained any knowledge or gotten any closer to diagnosing why my computer has started freezing more and more and more recently. Um, but yeah, I would love to figure that out. That's why I didn't stream last night. It was supposed to be a drink stream. Didn't happen. So now I'm drinking them tonight. So tonight is the drinking stream. And the drink of choice is... It's called the Finnish Long Drink. You probably can't see it because of the glare, but it's called the Finnish Long Drink. It's a gin and grapefruit sparkling drink. Love a good Finnish long drink. You've had it before. This is my first time ever trying it. I bought them to try because they were on sale. And I'm a sucker for a sale. That's how I usually decide what I'm going to drink. I'll be like, hey, I feel like drinking. What's on sale? They were like normally $12 and they were $3 off. So I got them for like, I'm pretty sure it was normally 12 and I got $3 off. So it was $9 for a 6-pack of them. So I was pretty happy with that deal. Normally $2 a can. I got them for $1.50 a can. There's also a red cranberry one. They only had 2 flavors. They had this grapefruit one, and then let me look up because I'll know it when I see it. I lied. I won't know it when I see it. I thought I would know it when I would see it, and I didn't. Kiwi just jumping in here and saving the day immediately. How's it going, Kiwi? You like gin a lot. You're allergic to beer, so I always want to try those canned drinks for chiller drinking events. Yeah, it was kind of funny. My wife doesn't like the taste of beer and she doesn't drink very often. But I got these and I told her it was like a grapefruit and gin. And so I told her I was gonna try it, so I opened one, I took a sip and I was like, it's good. Like it's not like my favorite thing, but it's good. And so I had her take a sip and she was like very excited. She was like, "Oh man." So if I managed to have like Saturday night drinks or something, I could probably get these and she would probably drink some with me. She was a big fan. Just Larkimo say focus on stuff on your second monitor. Gotcha, gotcha. We'll appreciate having you like always. Alright, let's stock up the store. Little stars. I love having my 3 stalkers. It's like I hardly ever have to fill anything up at the end of the day. Alright, I need these and these. I'll grab the second box of these too. Alright. You had a stalker in high school. She sacrifices birds now. Well, I'm happy she didn't sacrifice you. That would have been quite upsetting. She did hit you on the back of the head with a math book and knock you out. I don't understand stalking. Maybe I misunderstand what stalking is, but isn't stalking like they're infatuated with you? Like, why would someone who like is infatuated with you want to harm you? This is how you know I'm not a stalker myself, is because I just don't get it. It seems counterintuitive. Like Brighter Shores game design. Part of the obsession you got? I guess so. I don't know. Zinger! Not sure, I don't understand either. She's a psychopath. Yeah, I guess that's also part of stalking, is they don't make sense. So, how do you know she sacrifices birds? They're friends on Facebook. She invites him to the, he gets, like, weekly group invites to the meetings, to the rituals. She's like, hey, just meet me in the woods. We're gonna do some dances, some chants around the fire. You know, good times, good times. If she's posting on Facebook, she's post. What you mean to tell me you can't sacrifice birds? What if that's her religion? That's why you're curious. Live leak videos. Looked at her social media from time to time. Depends on how she sacrificed them, but definitely could be animal cruelty. Well, we all know birds aren't real anyway. They're just drones invented by the government to spy on us. So maybe her sacrificing the birds, maybe she's actually like a Russian. She's either like an evil Russian spy, or she's like a good guy trying to like take down the secret organizations that are spying on innocent Americans. You can decide which one. Thanks for keeping your eyes open. Don't open them too wide. The birds might still peck them out. Alright. I think we're ready for the next day. I would like to open more cards, but I'm trying to save up $10,000. Birds aren't real, but bird shit is. True. But I'm trying to save up for this, the final evolution of Blazor, but it's 10,000, so got a little ways to go. I think the best part of birds aren't real is that basically everyone has their phone with an arm reach 24/7. The government knows all they want about you if they try. Why would they need bird drones? More angles. They could get a bird's eye view of what we're doing. The bird drones are for taking people out. Yeah, strategically placed bird shit. Someone is driving and they just like boom, 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 all over the windshield and you can't see and then you crash. Oh no. I'm concerned, Mike, where this is going. Also, I was trying to think of something like I really hate that this wasn't Saturday night because that was the plan. Because I found this game on this free game on Steam called like Slappy Ball or Slappy Hands, and it's volleyball, but instead of people, you're giant hands. And you like jump and like spike it, and you can like dive as the hand and stuff. And I was like, that'd be kind of a fun game to play with people. And I was gonna say we could play that, but then I was like, people are probably doing their own thing. And Saturday night you could probably convince people to like do other stuff, but it's Sunday. It's not nearly as exciting as Saturday. I also got angry at the game because I destroyed my first two rounds and then got destroyed the third round. And it brought me down too quickly. I was on like the highest of pedestals after winning my first two games in a row. And I thought I was like the greatest. I thought I was like God's gift to man when it came to slappy hands. And then it got ruined. It wasn't even like a slow decline. I just got destroyed. When you used to hold modular homes, you would take a 16-foot wide load into Connecticut. You had to go at night with a police escort, but you had to be out of New York by 3 p.m. with a 16-foot wide. So you would get to the New York Connecticut line and have to wait for 8 hours. Jeez. Your wife, fiance at the time, would come with you, and we went to the Danbury Mall one time in the escort car to see a movie. This explains why your modular home is taking so long. Yeah, because people keep going on date nights when they should be driving the truck. There's like nobody there. You parked in an empty ass parking lot by this tiny tree in the landscaping. When you came out, your car was covered in bird shit. Like you couldn't see out of the windshield. You were a target. You had to drive to a gas station to head out the window and scrape it off with the windshield sponge? Jeez. I had a similar experience in Texas, except it was an asshole instead of birds. Me and the wife stayed the night in a Texas hotel, and when we woke up the next morning, I walked out to the car. This is more like a motel, actually, I should say. Not a hotel, it was a motel. And when I walked out the door, like as soon as you opened the door, our car was like right there. I opened the door, and someone had, I don't even know what it was, but some sort of food substance, and like smeared it all over my windshield. So I had to drive to a gas station with like my head out the window because they had smeared it all over everywhere. Um, and yeah, I had to do that so I could clean it off. You read Yuri Lover in the chunk chat as Yari Lover every time and just think you have a really big fan? I wish. It's unfortunate they were around before me. That's crazy. I agree. That's the same motel that whenever, so I cleaned it off, and then when we went to like check out and leave, I will never forget this as long as I live. Short story time, but like enough to where I need to pause the game to be focused. I will never forget this as long as I live. So I drive to the gas station, clean off the windshield, go back, we pack up the car, and I go to check out. But all you gotta do is like drop. They have like a drop box for your key inside the little from because like so the hotel. Imagine like a lowercase like an upside down U is basically how it was, and like this, and like on this side, like that's where the office was. And so I drove over to we parked drove over to the office area. It was like its own little room. Um got out and I went inside and there was no person at the counter to be found, so I just like dropped off the keys. And as I turned around to walk back to the car, I hear like help, help, like someone yelling help, but like muffled. And me, I hear someone yelling help. I run the other way because my like mind immediately goes to it's a trap. Someone's yelling help. I'm gonna go back there to help, and I'm gonna get beat over the head and murdered. And they're just trying to like trick me into going into the back room. So I got to the car where the wife's waiting, get in the car, and I'm like, hey, someone's yelling help from like the back area, like the back rooms behind the counter and everything. And she was like, well, did you go check? And I said, no, I didn't go check. I'm not gonna go die. And so I call the police. Like I dial 911 and I'm like, or I looked at the non-emergency number. I can't remember which. And I was like, hey, I'm at such such hotel at such such address. And someone's yelling help from behind the counter. And I'm not going to go back there because that seems sketchy. But might want to send someone out. And so me being nosy, I stuck around. And well, I think the dispatcher told us to stick around and wait for the cop since we were the ones reporting it. We might have to like fill out a report or something. So he stuck around. The cop pulled up and he was like, "Hey," and we told him like, "Yeah, it's right in there." And he goes, "All right." He goes in and he's like, "Is everybody okay?" And he hears like the person yelling help as well. And so he goes back behind the counter, goes to the back office. And he's not back there for very long. And he comes back out to our car and I'm like, "So what was the deal?" And he said, oh, it was just the employee. He had locked himself in the bathroom, and he didn't have like I guess the locks were the other way around, or maybe like the doorknob broke or something. But he was somehow stuck in the bathroom, and so the cop went around the corner and just like unlocked it and pulled the door open or whatever. And he was like, "Thank you, thank you. I've been locked in there for hours," or something like that. And yeah, he was just the guy that worked there was just locked in the bathroom. I was like, I ain't going back there though. That's how people die. You know, and if I could go back in time, I still would have called the police instead of going back. I'm not going back there. I stand by my decision, and I always will. Don't blame me there. Yeah. This was like 7 years ago, and even then I would you never know in this world. People are crazy. Especially since I had just woken up that morning to some food substance smeared all over my windshield for what I assume no reason at all, just people being jerks for no reason. So clearly I wasn't in the best of places to just go exploring in back offices. You see way too much crazy shit hauling houses. You don't get anywhere without your pistol anymore. You used to think it was excessive, but you're in a dire situation in New York City that changed that. Yeah, I mean, you never know what's gonna happen. We live in crazy times. They had a dude on the side of your truck trying to smash your window, and that's terrifying. Like I'm like a paranoid person in general. Like a lot of times if I when I get into my car, I'll lock the door as soon as I sit down, just in case someone's like waiting for me to sit down to come up and like yank my door up and grab me or attack me or something. I'm like as soon as I get in there and sit down, I lock the door. Imagine playing at a TCG store and the owner just runs across the table to get some air freshener off the shelf. Guy plays to me. Come on, come on, come on. Sorry, just gotta check out this customer. Okay. I mean, to be fair, if the owner was just a floating camera, it wouldn't bother me. I'd have more. I'd like have like other questions if that was the case. Do you have to put stuff back there? Would it be inefficient to make a shelf specifically for air freshener in the front? Where would I put it? I guess I could scoot like my cash register over and put it like here. That person just bought $260 worth of playmats, and this person's spending $146 on playmats. Yeah. You don't know the storage options? They're single wall mount hanging shelf or something? We can look. Remind me when the day's over, which is in 8 minutes. 5 minutes. 3 minutes. 1 minute. Okay, the store's closed. Small cabinet. Small metal rack. Small personal shelf.